Women are value suckers. Women chase men who have value. They absorb that value and oftentimes spit the man back out. So, a solution to this, as Rollo Tomasi says, is to stay on your purpose, keep a masculine, feminine frame with the woman, meaning don't play into her emotions, don't be emotional over her, don't put her on a pedestal. Which I don't necessarily disagree with, but it doesn't necessarily touch the fundamental problem of the day, which is that women are hypergamous and women are seeking value from a man. And this is what's popular in PUA today. Pickup artistry is to have more value, display value, DHV, demonstrate higher value, be higher value than other men, be this transcendent male who is free from outcome, free from personal hangups that other men, the AFC, the average frustrated chump, is dealing with. And I don't fully disagree with that either, necessarily. I think that men should have value. I think that men should value themselves. Call me a hippie, but I have a very old school view of what value really is, though. A lot of men today get it twisted, and they think that value is being better than the next guy. And you'll even hear pickup artists and various masculine teachers, etc., talk about that kind of thing. Talk about it from that angle. Well, I don't think that there's anything wrong with having value, like I said. The problem is when we get to competition, when we get to being in competition with other men. You have men walking around who have this mentality, this sort of mindset that they're somehow better than other men. And most of the time, fundamentally, it's just not true. It's good to have a mindset that you're confident. It's good to have a mindset that you have value. But to think that you're better than other men is not humble. Being humble is a characteristic, is a quality characteristic. That's an underrated quality characteristic, being humble. And it's hard to be humble if you actually have success. It's easy to be egotistical. It's easy to be prideful if you actually have success. But there's an old saying that says pride goes before a fall. And I think this is true. I think that people who are, particularly guys and women, who are prideful are arrogant. And I think that arrogance is a weakness. I think that arrogance is a flaw. I don't think people who are arrogant, at least insofar as that act of being arrogant is concerned, they don't have value in that, in that at all. I think a lot of people, particularly in America, confuse arrogance with confidence. Humbleness, in my opinion, is a foundation of confidence. You have to be humble in order to be confident, to be truly confident, in my opinion. Otherwise, you're arrogant. Now, if, for instance, you are arrogant and you are focusing that arrogance on something that's inanimate, if you have a certain swagger and an arrogance about you, say, for how you play a sports game, someone like Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan. I think there's a certain type of arrogance there. I think that type of arrogance is okay, because it does somewhat give you an edge in the objective sport that you're playing. If somebody's on the court with Kobe Bryant or someone's on the court with Michael Jordan, they're probably not going to like them because they're arrogant, they're talking, they're trying to make other people lose while they get ahead. I don't have that much of a problem with that because it's a sport, it's objective. But if we're talking about life, and we're talking about how you treat other people, and if we're talking about what you bring to a relationship, and if we're talking about how you interact interpersonally with people around you, your friend group, your social circle, if you're arrogant in that situation, I don't think that's the time and place to be arrogant, because certain values come into play, such as humanity, such as kindness, such as friendship, etc., which are underrated values. Those are real values. So call me old school, that's how I feel. I think that people have intrinsic value in and of themselves. I don't think that people themselves are respected. I think that people have been commoditized, particularly by corporations, particularly by the world system, as it were, insofar as finances, the commodity, I don't think it's a word, but the commoditization of humanity, meaning we want your money, we want your subscribership, we want your patronization, we want you to come and patron our stores, we want you to come and shop for our products, that type of thing. People are vastly undermined. The average person and his or her average value is discounted. You have value just by breathing. You have value just by who you are. However, we live in this society that says you only have value based on what you can produce, based on the goods that you have, based on your materialism, based on how much money you have. It's everywhere. This is what we value as human beings, and it's false. It's a false worship of mammon, really, the wrong thing, self-gain, the uplifting of the self, the pride of winning and success. This is why we